once the Taiwan Strait War breaks out, could cause hundreds of millions of casualties. The Chinese People's Liberation Army may solve four major battlefields. Today, Koi is here to talk to you about this topic. Old rules like and follow. Koi will continue to chat with you. In recent years, the situation across the Taiwan Strait has become increasingly the attention of the world. Especially some American think tanks and media continuously exaggerating the risk of war in the Taiwan Strait. Once the Taiwan Strait War breaks out, not only could it cause hundreds of millions of casualties, we will also face severe challenges from four major battlefields. Xiaojing will talk about this topic in detail today. The Taiwan issue has always been the most sensitive issue in Sino-US relations. One of the most complex issues. Since the founding of the People's Republic of China in 1949, the Chinese Kuomintang government withdrew to Taiwan and claims to be the only legitimate government of China. There are differences between China and the United States on the Taiwan issue. Early 1950s, the United States intervened in the Korean War to avoid Chinese interference, adopted a series of protective measures for Taiwan. For example, the U.S.-Taiwan Mutual Defense Treaty was signed and provided a large amount of military assistance to Taiwan. This move has aroused strong opposition from China. The Taiwan issue between China and the United States has always been a difficult problem to solve, especially in recent years. The United States continues to provoke China on the Taiwan issue. For example, dispatching officers to assist Taiwan's military exercises. They even asked Taiwan to assist the United States in evacuating its citizens. These actions not only seriously interfere in China's internal affairs, it is a blatant trampling on China's core interests. Facing the pressing of the United States, China will naturally not sit idly by. Therefore, once a war in the Taiwan Strait breaks out, how will the Chinese People's Liberation Army respond to the challenges of the four major battlefields? And so on. Oi just wants to ask you a question. Everyone supports the People's Liberation Army. In the Taiwan Strait War, resolutely safeguard national sovereignty and territorial integrity. Support. See how many people support it. According to a U.S. think tank, China is fully capable of passing the Peiping model of surrendering without a fight, liberate Taiwan, specifically, through a long-term siege strategy. Forcing the Taiwan authorities to recognize the situation, abandon the darkness and turn to the light. The best way is to deploy submarines and torpedoes. Anti-front missiles cooperate with each other, warning ships passing through the Taiwan Strait. There are two advantages to this. One is to blockade the Taiwan Strait through submarines, cut off economic ties between the Taiwan authorities and the outside world. This will eventually lead to a sharp inspection of Taiwan's outbreak of economic crisis. The second is through submarine power. Demonstrate China's resolve and strength, forcing external forces such as the United States to dare not intervene easily. From the perspective of submarine power comparison, the United States is still far ahead of China. After more than half a century of development, American submarine, it's fully nuclear powered. There are currently 14 SSBN-class vessels, and 54 SSN-SSGN-class and submarines. Number 1 in the world. In terms of performance, the noise level of American submarines and underwater travel speed is significantly better than China. Look at China, our attack submarines. Both in terms of quantity and performance, less than America. We currently have about 60 submarines of various types. The total is approximately 161,400 tons. This includes nearly 30 conventionally powered submarines and 22 nuclear submarines. This includes 13 attack nuclear submarines. But China's advantage lies in the Taiwan Strait. We are fighting at home. Wait for work. In addition to the close cooperation of naval water forces, not afraid of American submarines. Therefore, American think tanks also believe that once a submarine war breaks out between China and the United States in the Taiwan Strait. One is that the United States tries its best. It can only be a lose-lose battle with China. Second, China took the opportunity to unify Taiwan. Although Chinese submarines are both numerous and capable, not as good as the United States for the time being. But China's submarine force is developing rapidly. American think tank forecasts by around 2026, the number of U.S. submarines will decrease to around 50. The number and performance of Chinese submarines will continue to rise, so in the long run, China's advantage in the submarine battlefield will gradually emerge. If a limited war breaks out between China and the United States, conventional missiles will be an important weapon in the contest between the two militaries. Of the People's Liberation Army, in the hands of the Rocket Army, mastery of conventional missile equipment. It is a major threat to the United States. On one hand, anti-ship ballistic missiles of our rocket force. It can target the U.S. aircraft carrier fleet. Poses a huge threat. Several missiles were launched simultaneously, enough to disable a U.S. nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. On the other hand, the United States has numerous military bases in East Asia, all in the People's Liberation Army, within the range of the incoming missile. In order to counter the Chinese People's Liberation Army's missile defense network construction in East Asia, one of the most important measures, the Navy's Zeistan defense system, moved from sea to land. Interaction with Japan and Zeistan in Guam. Shared responsibility. The task of intercepting incoming missiles from the People's Liberation Army. The THAAD system deployed in South Korea. It is the intention of the United States to intercept. The performance is incisive. However, these defense systems, it cannot fully counter the missile threat from the Chinese People's Liberation Army. Once a conflict breaks out between China and the United States, the missile force of the People's Liberation Army will directly attack the United States, Okinawa in the Pacific Ocean, Guam and other military bases. It can even be a direct hit. Warships of the United States and its allies. At the same time, the United States will also attack airports along China's southeast coast. installations. American think tanks believe the range and lethality of Chinese military missiles enough to cover and destroy America on Second Island, most of Hulianji's targets. The United States currently has a defense system deployed in East Asia. Can only handle small-scale missile attacks. It is not capable of dealing with a large-scale missile strike. On the battlefield of air combat, the People's Liberation Army will primarily rely on naval and air power of the Taiwan authorities. Through sea and air blockade, cut off contact between the Taiwan authorities and the outside world, disrupt its economic and social order, or make the Taiwan authorities give up resistance. On one hand, the People's Liberation Army Air Force and naval aviation, it will strengthen its focus on Taiwan Island, air patrols and reconnaissance in and around the sea, timely detection and suppression, the military objectives of the Taiwan and important facilities. On the other hand, the Chinese People's Liberation Army's missile forces and naval vessels, it will strengthen its focus on Taiwan Island, missile attacks in and around the sea, and firepower. Destroy the military defense system of the Taiwan authorities. However, the United States and other external powers will not sit idly by. They may send ships and planes to the Taiwan Strait. Intervention and provocation, even directly involved in military operations. This will give the PLA a naval and air blockade, bring certain challenges and difficulties. In order to address these challenges and difficulties, the People's Liberation Army needs to be further strengthened. The construction and training of naval and air forces, enhanced combat capability and level. It also needs to be strengthened. Military cooperation and coordination with allies. Jointly respond to external interference and provocation. In the battlefield of information, cyber warfare and public opinion will become an important means of warfare. On the one hand, the People's Liberation Army, cyber attacks and infiltration against Taiwan disrupt its network infrastructure and information systems. It paralyzes its command and control capabilities. On the other hand, the People's Liberation Army will also step up its cooperation with the Taiwan authorities, and psychological destroy warfare, its fighting spirit and star. In order to address these challenges and threats, the Chinese People's Liberation Army needs to further strengthen public opinion warfare capacity building. At the same time, it is also necessary to strengthen publicity to the people of Taiwan, enhance mutual understanding and trust through enhanced information exchange and interaction, clear up misunderstandings and doubts, jointly safeguarding peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait. To sum up, once the Taiwan Strait War breaks out, the Chinese People's Liberation Army will face the submarine battlefield, the four major challenges of air combat battlefield and information battlefield. No matter how many difficulties and challenges we face, People's Liberation Army will unswervingly safeguard national sovereignty and territorial integrity. As a Chinese, we are well aware of the importance of the Taiwan issue. Taiwan is an inalienable part of China. Any attempt to divide China will be firmly attacked. Therefore, we should firmly support the People's Liberation Army, justice in the Taiwan Strait War, jointly safeguard national unity and territorial integrity. I don't know if everyone thinks Xiaojing is right. If you also like Xiaojing's show, follow, so you won't miss my great show. In the days to come, Xiaojing will continue to bring you more depth, warm content. Let's work together for the prosperity of our motherland. Do your part.